and the doctor I did it with was, let me show you my table pictures. The surgery, the stay, the pickup from the airport, and all of their stuff like surgical blood work, all of that. It caused the most scary part for me because I never had top recovery tips. That's maybe another thing that's happening. Hi, it's been 3 months now since my nose job, revision-ish nose job. I will explain to you later. So I wanted to hop on here and tell you how it's going, show you pictures from kind of the past 3 months, how it's been healing, what I'm doing now, do I like it now, who was my surgeon, all of the questions. I compiled like a little list of questions that you left on the previous YouTube video that I've received from friends that I got on Instagram through DM. There's quite a few questions, so if you're curious, yeah, just keep on watching. And I will also show you the pictures from like all the table pictures and whatever I can find from the past 3 months of how this has been healing. It's already much better than it was. I cried when they took off the first cast and the second one, but also I was a little stable, so maybe it wasn't like fully on the nose, but I'm liking it more now. Still have some doubts about like what he did and stuff. Yeah, but let's answer all the questions, the price, everything, and how it was about the anesthetic. It was my first time getting like general anesthesia, and I think that was honestly the scariest part of all experience. Let's start. Okay, first things first, let me show you my nose. I will get you a bit closer. So this is my nose right now. I do like it from the front. It's short, cute-ish. My nostrils, it's really nice angle. My nostrils are symmetrical now, which I do like. This is still kind of healing, but it's much better. I will show you also what scar cream I have been using, which I think helped a lot. A little disclaimer, you don't need a nose job, nobody does. If you want to, go for it. Like, I don't think anyone will judge you. Some people will, but I've received a lot of like, oh, you don't need it, why would you do this? Why would you do this to yourself, to your face, blah, blah, blah. But it's definitely helped a lot with my self-confidence and yeah, just in general, even though I don't love it as much as I thought I would, it still helped me a lot. Okay, back. Front. So this is the front. I hope it's gonna be more like a table pictures, but I do like it. Side on the other side. Side on the other side. Side. This is from a little like third fourth, which I don't love sometimes. I do feel like it could have been shorter. I have a hope that the tip, because he said my skin is thick, so it's gonna take a while for it to go down. So I really hope it's still like the swelling that's keeping my nose on the longer side. I will also show you mood board that I gave to him and he hung it during the surgery. But yeah, this is how it is. I hope I still have the video from like the first months I did like the same. If not, I will just keep on dropping pictures here and telling you like how much post-op it was while answering your questions. So I'm gonna scooch over here. I guess first question is, was it revision? Why it was revision-ish? My nose was even longer before, and like 4 years ago I had a tip, only the tip, so under local anesthesia, which people think I'm crazy for and they never heard of like nose job being done under local anesthesia, but I felt like much more comfortable doing it this way. So I did like a tip, kind of not reconstruction, he just did a tiny bit shorter. It did help a lot, but I think what this doctor said, he didn't do a great job here, and the way it healed, there was a lot of scar tissue, a lot of damage. He said there was like really not good things happening inside, so I'm glad he fixed that. And you can see, probably I will put it here, like how much uneven my nostrils were, which I never actually noticed, but now looking at like previous pictures I'm like, oh damn, they were like super uneven. And yeah, that's what the doctor previously did. So it is kind of a revision, but not necessary because it was just the tip that was done before and he didn't touch like a lot, hence revision-ish. I did it in Turkey, in Istanbul with Clinic Hub, and the doctor I did it with was Dr. Semil Sahin. I was considering other doctors as well from Clinic Hub. I talked with like bunch of different doctors. I was considering Lithuania, Albania as well. I was considering going back to Ukraine or just doing it here in the Netherlands, which would have been easier in terms of recovery, but also not really. The recovery there has been super smooth because the doctors came to your room every day and the nurses came, and if you had any issues you could just call and like they would come and check up on you and do stuff that needs to be done. So in that sense I'm kind of glad I chose to go there because yeah, and the hotel was really nice. I could just chill. So yeah, Dr. Semil Sahin, I am happy with him. He was really nice. I'm happy with Clinic Hub as a whole. There was like few issues here and there, but like organizational issues, but forgot about them already because other whole experience as a whole, it was great. I would definitely recommend them. Semil Sahin also has been great as a doctor. I do really like his results on Instagram, but having a chat in like there is a lot of group chats on WhatsApp for him specifically for other doctors, so it's really nice to have that and you can just ask questions about other people's experiences and stuff. So he has been good. He did take into consideration pretty much everything I wanted, but I just wanted a bit more of a drastic change. But so after like reading all of the WhatsApp messages and just like talking to people, I do now know that he's more about natural results. So he will do as much as he can, but he's more like on the natural side, which I guess is good. Like you wouldn't be able on some patients tell like that they had pretty much on all of them, like that they had the nose job to begin with, which is great. But I did want it to be shorter, more deep projected, and just overall smaller. But again, I cannot judge right now his work fully because it does take up to a year, even more probably in my case because my tip was so forked before. So it will take quite a bit of time to heal. But yeah, overall, I am happy that I did it. The price, it did the surgery, the stay, the pickup from the airport, and all of their stuff like surgical blood work, all of that. It cost 7,500 euros. But again, it depends on your case. There is like hard cases, more of a revision, like the primary rhinoplasty, like the cost depends, so it's better to reach out and they will send like your pictures and just in general who you are to the doctor, and then they will calculate the price for you. But every year the price have been going up and up and up, so I wouldn't be surprised if what I paid now would be like 8,000-10,000 next year, which it is crazy, but they are great doctors there. The flight, again, it depends on where you're from, so like it's not really, yeah, I cannot really tell how much the flight will be because it again depends where you're from. I guess let's get into the other questions I got. So we came about like the whole process. We came there like a day before. We were taken to blood work to make sure all of your levels are fine, which is great. Some people I know do it like back home, like a week, 2 weeks before, just to make sure, because like if your iron levels or whatever are super low or you have other issues, it's better to know before you actually go there so you can actually do the surgery. So it's great that they do it there, but maybe it's good to check if you do have some issues. I knew I did like blood works like half a year before and everything was fine, so I was like pretty sure that everything is fine. So I didn't do it before coming there, but that's maybe something to consider. And the next day we had the surgery, we had the consultation with the doctor, like before the surgery. It was kind of quick one, but he wasn't like rushing or anything. He could take more time if you had more questions, so that was great. And the great thing is to print out your inspiration pictures, so he can like put it on during the surgery and look back on them. I guess based on the pictures that I showed, some of them especially, my nose is pretty close to kind of what I wanted, so good. Oh my god, anesthesia. So that's how you say it? I think so. So I think that was like the most scary part for me, because I never have been under general anesthesia, and in general it was so scary, especially waking up. So I've been under, I think, for 2.5-ish, maybe 3 hours. I think 2.5 it whole took. That was another question. How long was the surgery? I think it was 2.5 hours, because he did say at least he didn't have to like break my nose. It was a bit crooked, that's what he said, so he did fix it a bit clear, but he mostly like focused on this and making it shorter, even, and all of that. But he did say I had a lot of damage there and scar tissue, so that was like a lot to clean up. That's why it took longer than expected. Waking up from anesthesia, I think it was like honestly the scariest experience. It was so cold, and because it was so cold, I was shaking so much. It felt like I was having a seizure. And I remember just waking up and nurses running around me, like yelling at each other, kind of, for the oxygen mask. So I was like so scared that I was having a seizure or something, especially like after looking back onto like waking up when I properly woke up. So that was I think the worst experience out of like whole healing process and all of that, and not being able to sleep for the first day. In the hospital, they were so good. Of course, they had a lot like going on everywhere, but they were good. They were checking, especially like first 3 hours, they were checking up on me like every 15 minutes, taking blood pressure, checking the pulse and everything, just making sure everything is okay. After like few hours after I woke up, they helped me to go like to the bathroom and like to change. The food was really good in the hospital as well. So yeah, that was great. And next day, pretty much at 6 a.m. I was discharged and taken back to the hotel, so I could just chill. And the doctor came like a few hours after to give me all of the stuff, like cleaning stuff, all the supplies to fix myself. And he's been really great as well, checking up and like making sure everything was okay. So they once to twice a day, they just checked up on you. Like for me, the healing was pretty good. Like I didn't have any infection or whatever. My friend that met there, she had an infection, so they did obviously took care more of that. So if you had any issues, but for me, like I could sleep next day already. I could go to the toilet like after a few days, which was great that they wanted us to do that. And my healing was like pretty good. I didn't bruise, I didn't have any swelling really. Yeah, overall it was pretty easy. And the thing, they use the piezo whatever, like a laser, so they don't use like the original where they break your bones. They just shave it or whatever. But from people I also heard that like worst pain was when they needed to take the rib out to use it like on the cartilage to rebuild it. That's why they also thought they will have for me to use, because usually during the revision here it's all like messed up, so they usually do need to use the rib cartilage to like kind of rebuild it all and make it proper and sad. But I'm glad I went with him, because his like top priority is kind of safety of your nose, breathing and all of that. So that's great, because I felt kind of safe. Obviously I was like nervous before, but yeah. Another question I got was, didn't hurt to sneeze after the rhinoplasty. So it didn't hurt at all. It was just weird kind of pressure like here, you know, like when you are a bit sick, just a bit of pressure, but it didn't hurt. And first few days I was so scared because I wanted to sneeze so much. And first day, so you need to sneeze like with an open mouth, which is like weird because you were told to, like, you know, close your mouth, but you need to sneeze with the open mouth to kind of release the pressure. And they also give you the allergy pills to like make sure you don't sneeze as much. Sleeping, I was also scared about that because I hate sleeping like with my mouth open. Like I can't do it. And when I don't sleep, I become like so grumpy and I hate everyone. So I was so scared. But like on the pretty much day 2, I was sleeping already and breathing through my nose. Not that great, but like I could sleep easily, which I'm so grateful for the decongestant that they give you, because oh my god, sleeping with mouth open is just, it's not it. Yeah, I answered that one. How much did you pay for surgery and the whole trip? So yeah, 6.5 for surgery. There I didn't spend much because I mean Turkey is like pretty affordable. Let me actually pull out, because I did write down what I spent like every day. I have it here. First day, obviously the flight, which is different for everyone. I think I paid 200 maybe back and forth, 200 euros, not sure. So first day I spent only on room service. Don't do room service. There is like delivery apps which is like 5 times cheaper. I ordered salad and that was 15 euros. Then day 2 I didn't spend anything because I was in the hospital. Day 3 I bought some snacks, food, water. It was 33 euros. Day 4 I spent 13 euros. Day 5 I spent 35 euros. Day 6 I spent 16 euros. Day 7 I spent 13 euros. And then I stayed like extra days, so I stayed in the airport hotel because it was just easy, and that was 100 euros for the like extra day in the hotel, not covered obviously in the price of the surgery experience, which was like covered for what, 7 days? Yeah, 7 days I think. But I stayed extra day just to not rush and just to stay in the airport hotel, and just in the morning because I had early flight, just walk there. 8 euros for something, and then I bought something in like an airport bakery to take home, which was 20 euros. So yeah, I think all in all I spent like, let's say 300 euros with the hotel for 7 days there to bring some stuff home. 6.5 was the surgery and the hotel pickup, blah blah blah, and the flights were 324 euros back and forth, because I did buy it kind of like on the short notice, so the date appeared earlier, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it because I had like time at home to kind of recover before like starting new things. So all in all I think it was 7,500 euros, but again price is already rising, I think, based on like conversations I have in this group chat. Price is already rising, and I know they will up them, I think, by 10% starting like next year. So ouch. Okay, another question I got on my Instagram is, would you recommend going alone or with somebody? Honestly, alone is fine. I met there few people who are like so amazing, so we spent like time just chatting with each other. They also came by themselves and we just spent evenings like watching movies and stuff. So especially like if you go into Turkey and like staying in the hotel where everyone is staying, so it's super easy to meet somebody, because on the like also when we went to blood works, like there was few girls that came as well, so we met them and then exchanged numbers and then just kept in touch. So going alone is fine. Definitely if you do know that the rib gonna be taken out, but I guess the doctor doesn't really know until they go in there and actually see what's happening and if they need. But I heard that if the rib is taken out, it's good to have somebody, but it's definitely not necessary. Like, it's good to have somebody to help you, to go to the store for you, but like, again, at least for me, my experience, the healing experience has been great. So like on the first day I already went to the store by myself, just buy stuff, and I've been helping like girls, like going to the store and getting stuff for them because their rib was hurting. So like, honestly, both is fine. If you have a friend going with you, amazing. If you can't find anyone, or if you don't have friends like me, going by yourself is like fine. Like, don't even worry about that. Another thing, how was the pain? Honestly, I do have high pain tolerance. For me, it was not hurting at all. The rib, if they were to take out, that would hurt, but for me it was like 1 out of 10. It was just sometimes uncomfortable. Another question, how was your breathing affected? Has it been affected? For me, I have always breathed good, so I didn't have like deviated septum or anything, and for me, I still breathe great, so I didn't have any better or worse because it's been great. Another question is, how is post-op doing, like what you need to do basically. After they take out the first cast, you go home, and after 5 days you take out your second cast by yourself, and then just you start taping and wearing retainer, which is like this little thing, basically, so your nose, oh, I cannot put it in now because it's dried out, basically, so your nose shape stays the same. It depends case by case. The taping I do as much as possible. Like, I didn't have to do, I think, after like 2 months, but I do as much as possible because I do think it helps with swelling, and I plan to do it for like 6 months, I think, or yeah, whatever I feel. The retainer, again, depends case by case. The girls I went with, their doctor told them to wear retainer only at night for 2 months, and then they're fine. With me, because he reconstructed a lot here, and it was revision. With revision, it's usually longer. He told me to wear it as much as possible day and night for 6 months. So that's what I'm doing. First 2 months I was wearing it like 24/7. Now I'm like, when I'm filming or like when I go to work, when I will go to work, I will just not take it, but as soon as I'm home I will put it in. And another thing I'm using is this scar gel. I just ordered it on Amazon, and I do think it's been helping quite a lot with the scarring and whatever. It's still quite red and still like hanging a bit because, well, swelling, but it did help a lot. Okay, so another question was your top recovery tips. Like 100% before you come and while you're there, make sure to drink pineapple juice. I'm not sure if it's like miss. I don't know how to say that word. But pineapple juice has been helping a lot. Like, the girls that didn't drink it every day, their swelling was quite bad. I had it like few days before I went there. And the first day I bought, and like every day after, my swelling was like pretty much non-existent. So pineapple juice. Another thing I seen, they do have, like, at least in that hotel, you can just ask for ice to put it like every hour or something on your eyes, which helps a lot. And at home now, even in the morning, I just use like a nice roller that I bought on Amazon. That's been helping a lot. Well, obviously don't work out and follow like all the instruction that surgeon gives you, because there was one girl that literally the next day after the surgery, she went and worked out, like when it says like don't work out for 2 months or something. She was working out already and like going at it. She didn't listen to no one. And on my 5th day or something, 6th day, we went out to like an island, and we were riding a bike and like doing more walking and more kind of working out. And I definitely noticed that my nose was like kind of swelled up and like a bit like, you know, like throbbing. So that wasn't great on my part, so just follow the instructions and honestly you will be fine. Yeah, I think I honestly went through all of the questions. Table pictures, let me show you my table pictures. As you can see, my nose was kind of straight, but it was kind of like a hook, and especially when I was smiling it was going even more down. So I do love my table pictures. He fixed that. He said it was a bit crooked, I never noticed, and I definitely had like really big asymmetry, so he fixed that. So I really liked my table pictures. I hope that my tip will not go down, but I know that the tip like drops, so if that's something you're worried about, it will drop. I honestly hope that it will stay pretty like upturned, because I do like that look. I think I will also do another video. I probably forgot to write down some questions. If you have them, I will answer them in the comments, and I will definitely do another update video, maybe at 6 months and 1 year if you're curious. Maybe I will do like at 6 months updated video for the nose job and the chin implant, because it will be like 8 months after chin implant, and answer any questions you might have about that if you're curious. So you can just drop them below. I will answer them here in the video as well. So I hope it's been helpful. Again, I always say it, like, you don't need any cosmetic procedures, but if you want to, who's gonna stop you? I'm pretty like open about all of this, because why not? Who cares? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it's been helpful. Let me know if anything else I'm missing. Feel free to message me on Instagram. I will reply to you there. I'm always on Instagram, so I'm always online there. And hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me my nose is pretty. No, I'm joking. I hope my nose will become smaller, and I will love it more as the times goes by, but I'm definitely happy I did that. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to answer anything, or about any other cosmetic procedures. I think next year I'm gonna go and do my boob lift, so that's maybe another thing that's happening. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye. My camera is overheating so much, it's like, it's literally gonna burn me. It's crazy.